Welcome into the Extra Point presented by Global Motorsports in Cool Springs and Belmead, the world's best luxury imports at Nashville's best prices. Check them out at globalmotorsportsinc.com. And Zach, today America has elected Donald Trump as our new president. Whether you like it or not, that is the final result of it. But the question that we're going to talk about today is why aren't more Americans going out and voting? Because voting was down 3% from 2012 to this election. That's about 6 million less Americans voting.
Yeah, I think that it has to do with a couple of different reasons. I think, first of all, time. Today, our attention span is about 6 seconds, okay? So are you going to take the time to actually go out and vote?
Right.
You can't do it on your phone. And I think millennials, I think they had a huge impact in this. They weren't instilled like the older generation was, is if you vote, you're an American. You should decide. And I think that they care less about this election, especially because the two candidates, I think a majority of America would have rather picked a third party.
Well, I honestly think it's because of this specific election. It's because of the two candidates. People felt dirty if they voted for Trump or Hillary Clinton. I think that was just a tough decision to where you're going to put your conscience on one of these candidates if you vote for them, regardless if they win or don't. But that's why I think the voting was down the 3%. But if you look at it, that's over 40% if it's in 2012 or 2016. Over 40% of Americans aren't voting. And that's a big number in my mind.
Yeah, electproject.org says 55% this year voted. That was 128 million people out of the 231 million people that were able to vote. I just don't think that they, on that Tuesday, decided to go to the church, the local church, and register and do all the other things that it takes. And I know that it's very simple,
yeah,
but it takes time, and it takes time away from your busy day of making money and working. I think all of those things go into it.
That's why early voting is the way to do it. That's what I did. Early voting, you're in and out in 20 minutes, but you got to drive there. You have to plan around voting, and it does take time, and it is a process, and you want to make sure you're informed in what you're doing when you go into the polls. But voting is down, and we'll see what happens in 2020 when the next presidential election happens. But Donald Trump has won the presidential election. This has been the Extra Point on A to Z Sports Nashville.com, presented by Global Motorsports.